Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
It's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Let's see what's going on. Today is the 26th. So the first thing we see here is two signs. So for our moon sign, which represents our unconscious mind, we're making a transition. This transition, we look to the right, we see the transition completes itself at 8:55 a.m. So just before the show ends, as we make that transition, so we're kind of in that void out period right now. So we're making a transition. We're going between an earth sign and an air sign. Now I know this Aquarius, it looks like two squiggly lines, looks like water, but it really is the symbol of air. I mean, this is a symbol of water, the Aquarius, but the element of the sign of Aquarius is all about air. It's about the words and the actions we speak as we look forward to those futuristic ideals. When we think of the age of Aquarius, and all that futuristic, the ideals that people went through and thought about. Okay? And our sun sign is Pisces. So we have water for the sun. Our conscious mind is emotions, feelings, and our unconscious mind is going to be into air pretty soon. So we're making that transition. We're in that phase right now. Air is words and actions. We got these words and actions, these Aquarian words and actions and ideals underneath the surface want to bubble to the surface. And at the surface, we've got the emotions and the feelings. So allow those feelings to just take those words and those ideas and process them and see how you feel about what it is that you're doing. And just kind of contemplate those ideas. See what that does. All right, our numerology for today is the number 8. And the way we arrived at it is this way. Okay, we've got February, which is a 2, the 26th, 2 and 6. So if we got 2 plus 6, that's a 10, or 1 plus 0. And then 2014 is a 7, so 1 plus 0 plus 7 is an 8. And that's how we arrived at today. So 8 is a number in the tarot cards. It represents the card of strength, which is about righteousness. We hear the number 8. We look at the symbol here. We think of it as the symbol of infinity. So 8s are authoritative, business-minded leaders. They value control and tend to be powerful but are balanced, materially detached, successful, and realistic. They end up in management positions and are efficient, capable, street smart, and good judges of character. But on the dark side, 8s can be cruel, insensitive, violent, bullish, greedy. At their worst, 8s can be intolerant or zealots. And here we got Leo and strength. So here's the card of strength. And one thing about this card, you have the woman, which represents the unconscious mind, the lion, which represents the conscious mind, and you have them together. So the conscious mind is being tamed by the unconscious. Okay? The animal nature is being tamed by that feminine side of who we are. And the idea of this card is strength, is learning how to take all the energy that we have and channel it through our heart, through love. That's how she, in the subconscious, is able to tame the animal nature, through love. And we take that love, and the idea of this card is righteousness. And if you take the word righteousness, break it down, it's right useness. It's the right useness of the energy. And the right useness, we're told, and the idea of this card is to allow the energy to flow through us, channel through our heart first, so everything we're doing channels out as love, and let that love color everything that we're doing. So that's what true strength is about. I like to think the strength of God is like a lion, and we just allow that love to shine forth. We saw example with the Lion King movie when it really brought forth that very quality, of which I'm speaking. Now, up in the sky this tonight, We've got a graphic to see what the sky is going to look like. Here we go. This is the 26th and 27th. So about 30 minutes before sunrise, Thursday morning, we can scan with binoculars very low in the east-southeast for a super thin crescent moon with Mercury at its lower left. Okay, so this is what we're going to see tonight. Crescent moon, and when we look to the lower left, we'll see Mercury right there. All right, so in case you're wondering what I'm sorry, we're right over here. Okay, so here we go. This is what we're looking at tonight. So it's Venus, Mercury. Okay. Our moon phase is 10%. We're almost down to the new moon. And just again a reminder, the moon goes through cycles. It goes up from a new moon to a full moon. That's called waxing. And then from the full moon down to the new moon is called waning. So wax on, wane off. Wax on, wane off. It's Mr. Miyagi style. Okay. On a Mayan Oracle, today is a two-tone day, which means the energy of the one split. And so when the energy of the one splits, now you've got two parts of that one that have to learn, first of all, to balance itself. So that's the first thing. So the idea of challenge is implied. The challenge of learning how to balance once you split apart from yourself. The challenge of how to stay in that balance, how to stand on your own, yet at the same time be part of something else. Okay? The storm is the energy or the kin for today. Storm is gathering energy. So we gather this energy. And the challenge is what we're going to do with this energy. How are we going to do this? And how we understand by gathering this energy is helping us to balance ourselves out. And then the monkey, our guide for today, is all about magic, playfulness. I like to think of the monkey again in relation to the Lion King as Rafiki. Rafiki, the shaman monkey. Okay? So we have magic as our guide, playfulness. We have a gathering of energy as our idea for today. The sun, on the right-hand side, these are things that are like-minded. And these are the sun, which is enlightenment. So our like-minded energy is our ability to tap into enlightenment, to enlighten ourselves, to find that light in life. Whereas our challenge for today on the left side is how we purify ourselves, how we go into a state of purifying our bodies and who we are. Very important that we take care of ourselves. And then the hidden power or the occult kin, and the word occult just means that which is hidden, is our ability to communicate or inspiration. So when we go inside, we find that hidden power, that ability to communicate that which we are inspired by, really makes a big difference in our lives. And we go down here and we see our phrase for today. I polarize in order to catalyze stabilizing energy. I seal the matrix of self-generation with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of magic. And we are down here. We've got today and tomorrow, and then we begin the middle pillar. So 2 more days before we enter that, what I like to think is really magical time, right in that center, the eye of the hurricane, placed right in the middle. And over at Space Weather, our solar wind is presently 370.7. We still have that flare, remember, from the other day, so we should be feeling that, within the next 24 hours. I'd imagine planetary K-index at the moment is quiet, between 1 and a 2, but we shall see that change. And then, of course, we have the wind from the coronal holes, not quite as large as some of them have been, but enough that's going to throw energy our way. M-class flare possibilities jumped up. It was 60 yesterday. Now we're at 70. X-class was 10, so now we're back up to 30. And geomagnetic storm activity, 25 in your high latitudes. All right. So there you have it. That gets us started for things today. UFO news is up next. Here we go.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. So a bunch of stories today. So the other day, the first one starts off with something that was on Fox News the other day. I'm not going to play the clip that was on Fox. I'm just going to show you the image. This guy was interviewed. He's on the beach in San Diego, and there in the background, you got a little UFO right there. This is close up on it, so it's not an airplane. There are airports around there, but this is not an airplane that flies out of San Diego Airport or out of LAX. Okay, I've been to LAX a number of times. I've never seen an airplane like this over there. Neither have probably anybody that's been over there. Okay, so you can read the story here, and it goes on. Interview is being done with the cool surfer dude in Fox News. UFO passes them in the background. It shows up at 2:23 into the video and lasts only 3 seconds. The surfer guy was expertly answering questions, and all eyes are on him. So they missed the UFO. Even the man and the woman in the background were too busy with their kids on the edge of the water to ever look behind them. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So that was captured there, and they didn't even notice, and it was on the Fox News. So a lot of times you catch live UFOs when they're doing their news reports. They just kind of appear, make a small presence. Now this is above Oregon, the 25th. This is a 2-minute video. There we go. Now we've seen one like this a number of times, haven't we? So no stranger to us on what this is, and let's just zip through, see if it does anything spectacular. No, it just pretty much stays there. Here we have the same night vision view of it, so a couple different ways of looking at it. Alright, it's called Who Took My Mojo. Is the apparently the let's see, the one who made the video here. Yeah, Who Took My Mojo. Okay, moving from there, next story here is Michigan witness says UFOs were intelligent controlled. A Twin Lakes, Michigan witness reported watching multiple unknown objects moving in a controlled manner over a pasture that varied in speed, direction, color, brightness, and altitude, according to February 25th, 2014 testimony in the MUFON database. The witness was lying in bed when the lights were noticed near my animal pasture and barn. At about 1 a.m. on the 29th of 2013, the witness has camera on the property with inside monitors, but went outside to investigate. I saw multiple objects ranging in the size perhaps a basketball to a small car, the witness stated. The objects emitted lights that changed apparently randomly to every conceivable color in the spectrum. They appeared 2 to 3 at a time, maneuvered in apparently random yet controlled manners. These objects were moving about in the sky, but they did not strike anything. They varied wildly in speed and direction, yet hit no obstructions like trees, power lines, my barn, etc. It was the strangest thing. The witness had the video monitoring the area and was able to take photographs. I took many pictures and shot a lot of video, and upon reviewing the video, I had considerable static in the audio. I've never had the static on any other occasions and could not replicate it. The objects would come and move it about individually or in pairs, and I saw trees and power lines on both sides, so I know what size and range they were. My animals in the barn silently were staring at each other. Okay, and here's one of our pictures right there. This is what he was seeing. Okay, very interesting. The link's available, firstcontactradio.com. All right, this is a piece here. It's an Ancient Aliens episode, so the link's available. It's 42 minutes long, so you can check it out at your leisure. But this has to do with, it says, aliens in the mysterious mountains. Why would so many different cultures share the belief that mountains had a connection to otherworldly beings? Across ancient civilizations, the world's mountains were viewed as sacred home to the all-powerful gods. Why would so many different cultures share the belief that mountains had a connection to otherworldly beings? The Greeks believed that their most powerful gods, the Olympians, waged an epic war for control of the universe from Mount Olympus. Ruins of a 4,000-year-old observatory discovered on a mountain in Macedonia reveal that the ancients tracked celestial movements from on high with remarkable precision. And in Peru, the descendants of the Incas continue an ancient pilgrimage tradition in order to commune with the mountain spirits known as Apu. Could these gods have been extraterrestrials? Did they use remote mountain peaks to interact with early man? Might this explain why humans have been drawn to mountains for thousands of years? All good questions, right? Well, just check out this episode, and it'll answer a lot of your questions and give you some good insight. All right, the event, banker suicides and the return of the Anunnaki. This is by James Gilliand. It's been a while, and it's time for an update. A major portal has been opened in Maui, the heart chakra of the planet. There have also been, hold on a second, let me close this here. There have also been 20 others. The Earth is now being flooded with light and higher dimensional beings. Yes, this includes light ships as well. These higher civilizations, which we will refer to as the Great Family of Man rather than E.T., which has been given a fearful twist by Hollywood, the disinformation campaigns, etc., is appearing globally, keeping the UFO reporting centers extremely busy. I might add, some of the UFO reporting centers are not operating from the highest integrity. As many know, the ongoing UFO activity of ESETI has virtually been ignored. This is precursor to what many call the event. The timing of the event is tied into critical mass, the awakening and healing of humanity and the Earth. It is now foreseen as spring or early summer. This is not coming without challenges. Whenever a higher consciousness and energy enters the system due to sympathetic resonance, the lower consciousness and energy must rise to meet it. This creates chaos, yet chaos is the letting go of the old paradigm in order for the new paradigm to take its place. The intellect and the ego must surrender to the heart. The heart is your soul connection, and the soul is the path to the God Creator Spirit. Sometimes a little prayer and some sleep work best at adjusting these new energies. Alright, so let's go down here. And it says, in addition to, let me see here, we got a nice good video. What you can do right now. We can all do our parts here on Earth by practicing love and kindness, setting boundaries with those who are not holding space. We can pray to our representatives of Source and welcome the benevolent beings as beautiful. Many asking for their assistance in their own personal awakening and healing, as many as the Earth's awakening and healing. Stop participating in anything that is enslaving or harmful to humanity and the Earth. Let the beast consume itself as the prophecies foretold. There's an old Cherokee saying, if it isn't good for everyone, it isn't good. This should apply to our foreign policy as well. We need to be very careful of calling for democracy. Democracy means that corporations can move and exploit the people, trading one tyrant for corporate tyranny. The Republic is a better model with a strong constitution for the people and by the people. This is something that was forgotten in America along with its Bill of Rights. This spring the people will remember. They will come to realize the source of their pain and suffering. The war and disease profiteers, the global psychopaths behind the veil of ignorance, those veils and masks are coming down. So here we got a video. It's 2 hours long with James Gilliand from ESETI Ranch. So you've heard a lot of reports from up there. All right, now I've saved the best for last here today in the reports. Okay, we have all seen plenty of UFOs by the sun, right? We see them periodically. There's a big black cube that keeps showing up there. This video, this is mind-blowing here. Look how this was sent to me yesterday from one of our viewers. And look how many of these things you're going to see here. Okay, this is a 6-minute version of it. There's a short version out there which gets to the point. There's a flare. Okay, let me show you this here. It says, giant solar flare, opening of the portal or shot. Now, shortly after this, let me just jump ahead here. Okay. I want you just to notice. Okay, look at all these. Down there. I mean, at one point, look at this. Big thing down here. Look at all those up there. Have you seen that many up by the sun? I haven't seen that many, and we've been looking up lots of videos. So something definitely is going on that there's so many up there right now. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I was trying to count at one point, and I counted at least 40. I mean, there's way more than that. I mean, each section seems like it has, 10 to 20 of them. So there's a lot of them here, and if we back out, I believe there's a shot where it's just watching them flying in and out around the sun. Let's see. And this was just the other day. I mean, look at all those. So what do you think's going on up there? You know, it seems quite possible that after this flare hit, that they were out there doing something to help us, protect us. There you go. You can see all the activity now. Look at that. All the activity taking place as they're zipping around the sun. See all those? Pretty cool. All right, so check out that video, enlarge it, and look at it. But I'm telling you, that's a lot. This comes from the sunproject.net. A lot of UFOs, lots and lots of them. So we keep hearing that something big is about to happen. The sightings keep increasing. Society is getting to the point where we are. I think we're at that point of, you know, no return, that tipping point. Because look how crazy things have gotten in the world. They can't keep getting worse and worse and worse because people have been standing back for quite some time and just allowing things or watching things unfold. And there's going to come a time where people are going to snap and they're going to decide no more of this nonsense that's going on. And when it does, and that's the point where I think we're going to see a lot more of these UFOs we're seeing up there, I think we're going to start to experience them down here. But again, remember, they're not here to kill us or destroy us. That's not their objective. If that was the case, we'd been dead a long time ago. Because if they got the technology to fly around the sun like that, they've got technology to be able to wipe us off of the planet. And since they've been up there for such a long time and we're aware of it, and they haven't wiped us off, I think we can say that their objective doesn't seem to be that. We need to find out what it is and just keep paying attention. All right? That is UFO news. I'm going to jump away. I'll be back. I have a bunch more. Here we go.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Send down your love,
song's called Great Spirit, and it has a direct relation to the story I'm about to show you. Stories about Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. I'm going to read this first part. I got a couple pieces on Chaco. 1,000 years ago in what is now the American Southwest, the Anasazi, a Navajo word meaning ancient ones or possibly ancient enemies, built dramatic adobe dwellings or pueblos. Chaco Canyon was the center of Anasazi civilization, its many large pueblos probably serving as administrative and ceremonial centers for widespread population. Pueblo Bonita, one of the largest of the Chaco Canyon pueblos, is a good example of how the Anasazi lived. Pueblo Bonito rose 4 to 5 stories high, an astounding achievement for the time. Rooms surrounded a central plaza, and throughout the settlement were a number of kivas, meeting places that served a ceremonial purpose. The total population of Pueblo Bonita was probably around 1,200 people at its height. Surrounding the pueblos were a number of smaller dwellings and structures. Numerous communities looked to Chaco Canyon for political and religious guidance. After the 6th century AD, the Anasazi of Chaco Canyon and other settlements abandoned hunting and gathering in favor of cultivating crops such as maize. To grow maize, they needed rain, but the area was dry and rain was sporadic. What rain did fall was hoarded and used sparingly and efficiently. Evidence of dams, canals, and other water control features found by archaeologists show the importance of water to the Anasazi. From the 12th to the 13th centuries, many of the pueblos in Chaco Canyon were abandoned. What caused people to leave the pueblos? The centers of Anasazi society. One pueblo at Sand Canyon can provide clues. Archaeologists found evidence that when Sand Canyon was finally abandoned in the 13th century, the kivas were burned. Kivas were sacred ceremonial places. They would not have been systematically burned without cause. Many archaeologists believe that kivas were ceremonially burned, possibly as a way to close the kivas when people left. The Anasazi very likely did this because they never intended to return. Another important clue is that the Sand Canyon people left almost all of their possessions rather than taking them. The Anasazi likely had a long and difficult journey ahead of them. So why would the Anasazi leave? Potentially for good? Pueblos that had been taken for decades to construct? Scientists have found that one possible answer by looking at 3 rings in Sand Canyon area. In the period between AD 1125 and 1180, very little rain fell in the region. After 1180, rainfall briefly turned to normal. From 1270 to 1274, there was another long drought, followed by another period of normal rainfall. In 1275, yet another drought began. This one lasted 14 years. When the cycle of drought began, Anasazi civilization was at its height. Communities were densely populated, even with good rains. The Anasazi were using their land to its limits. Without rain, it was impossible to grow enough food to support the population. Widespread famine occurred. People left the area in large numbers to join other Pueblo peoples in the south and the east, abandoning the Chaco Canyon pueblos and later the smaller communities that surrounded them. Anasazi civilization began a long period of migration and decline after these years of drought and famine. By the 1300s, it had all but died out in Chaco Canyon. Was drought alone the only factor for the mass abandonment of the pueblos? Some archaeologists now believe there were other factors. Religious upheaval, internal political conflict, and even warfare may have combined to exacerbate the effects of the drought. Whatever the root causes of famine were, the archaeological evidence clearly shows it was devastating for the Anasazi. So, how does this relate to the song you just heard? Well, I've been to Chaco Canyon a number of times. 2 times, to be exact. Each time I spent several days there. The first time was amazing. And after I got home, and when I was there at Chaco, I can tell you that I felt completely at home. And I was, walking around there as if I had been there before. I have no doubt that this was not my first visit to Chaco, that in another lifetime I had been there, because everything was just so familiar. I was, finding caves. I was pointing out, things to friends, petroglyphs. I was, it was really amazing. Had an amazing experience. When I got home, I sat down at my desk, and all of a sudden I started hearing this song you just heard, Great Spirit, in my head. I was hearing the song, I was listening, and I thought, well, that's a really cool song. And then I heard this voice softly say to me, this one is yours, write it down. So I wrote it down in its entirety, and that song, as you hear it, is exactly as it came out. I didn't understand. First I thought, wow, this is, just a beat and, just a rhythm. It doesn't really have any guitars or music, and I wasn't certain about it, but I found that as I kept playing it, people responded, and there was something about that was more than me. When I returned to Chaco Canyon years later, after the song had been written, and I've had an opportunity to be in public playing at a number of awesome places, um, I returned to Chaco Canyon, and I had an opportunity to thank the spirits, the ancestors of the land, for the song, and it was really cool. I was walking around just singing out loud the song, and I really felt like I didn't feel alone at all. I felt that there was ancestors, friends all around me in the unseen world. It was really amazing. If you ever have a chance to go out to Chaco Canyon, I would highly recommend it. It's in New Mexico. It's in the northwest corner of New Mexico. It's part of the Four Corners area where they all live: New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. And really awesome. So let me go over. Here's another piece on Chaco Canyon, give you a little bit more insight on them, because they just disappeared. But there are petroglyphs out there of extraterrestrials. So there was definitely something that was going on that was more than meets the eye. So here's a nice website. This is all about Chaco Canyon. It says today massive buildings and ancient Pueblo people still testify to the organizational engineering capabilities not seen anywhere else in the American Southwest. For deeper contact with the canyon that was central to thousands of people between 850 and 1250 AD, come and explore Chaco through guided tours, hiking and biking trails, even campfire trails and night sky programs. They have a really nice sky show out there where they have the guy talking about what's going on and giving, pointing out all the different things in the sky, the different constellations and so on. It's so amazing and beautiful out there because you're in the middle of nowhere and there's no lights that are blocking out what you're seeing from the sky. So you're just getting an amazing view of the sky, of the Milky Way. I mean, it's just amazing. Can't say enough good things about the place. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I would guarantee that if you go out there, some of you may find that there's a lot of familiarity with that land and you as well, because pretty fascinating. All right? So, that's Chaco Canyon. If you get a chance to go, check it out. Highly recommended. Now, I'm going to switch over to this piece here because this is a piece that it's called The True Origins of Man. There's 3 parts to it. This was put together by a gentleman. He goes by Dabu77. He's made a number of videos, got a lot of great information that he puts out. He did some stuff on the Mayan calendar, not too long ago, and now this. It's called The True Origins of Man. There's 3 pieces. Each piece is 15 minutes in length. I'm just going to play a small portion of the first one because once you get into it, it's extremely fascinating. But basically what he did, he took a look at the Bible stories and gives examples of how the Bible itself has been misrepresented over the centuries and how there's even passages, he used passages to support this. And then he goes back in order to look at things correctly, look at the older Bibles before they were perverted, the Hebrew, the Aramaic, and in those started to find different meanings to things, started to see that there was really a difference because scholars have used different forms to hide information over the years to protect themselves. And so what he started finding out was really interesting information about the difference between the words, in which words were used, and in looking at the words that were being used and the meanings, you could see that there's something hidden that we don't aware of. And anyway, I'm just rambling at this point in time. I'm going to get over here and just play some of this for you and let it speak for itself. How about that? Okay, this is The True Origins of Man. This is part 1. I'm just going to play a little bit of this, but the links are available so you can check it all out on your own. Here we go.
This is Dabu 7, and this is the true origins of man. In this series here, I want to give you guys a trove of information. I want to get this out to as many people as I can across the whole globe. I want every man on the planet to know this, because this is some of the secrets that this Illuminati possess, and that I think that every one of you have a right to know. I want everyone to hear this. Therefore, no man can never say, no one ever came and told you the truth. What you do with it is on you. Okay? I want this to serve as a learning tool to educate people of our true history and what is being hidden. And you have to have an open mind. I have found that if you want to live life boxed in and nailed down to the ground with the brainwashing and lies that you've been taught thus far, you will never find the truth. That does not mean to be gullible. That means to use discernment and to take in all of this knowledge, the good, the bad. Know the two. Learn what they are, the difference between them, and carry on. Because I would rather know the difference between something and know that it's good or bad rather than to not know. And today, we live in a world of just that, not knowing who we are or where we come from, because it is kept from us, and it is among the greatest secret of mankind. Now, I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers, but I do have some, and I hope that I open the eyes of many with this. These secrets being held by the Illuminati is the knowledge that makes them feel like they are illuminated. Okay, for thousands of years they've helped control the masses and control each side of every war, as I've shown you, with this knowledge. Now, once everyone on the planet gets this knowledge, it's on them what they do with it. Okay? And we cannot stop this alone, none of us. We have to do this together. Just awakening people is an act of war in the eyes of the enemy. So let me be clear. When you hear me say Illuminati, it doesn't mean to just kill the wickedness of the Illuminati and its secrets, but to really do exactly what it says. Shed light. Illuminate the Illuminati for everyone, to expose it and share that illuminated wisdom with the world. This is like my little scroll of information, and I'm popping the seal to give it to you guys. I don't know what else to do and what other way to do it. This is information that I want to give you to help set you free. It's what I've gathered along my journey throughout all my research, all of these years, all the people that I've studied, the places that I've been, the books that I've read, everything, the Masons, the Illuminati, the satanic stuff, all of it, all wrapped up into one, is finally culminated into coming full circle for me. And it comes back to this. It all comes back to the beginning. Now, I've shown you the sun worship across the globe, from Egypt to the Vatican to Rome to the obelisk in Washington. Okay? Hidden in plain sight. Now, once you discover this truth, you're going to have the joy inside of you and the satisfaction of knowing this truth. And they will not have control of you no more. So, I grew up just like many of you out there, for the record, reading the same Bibles, okay? And every Bible is worded a little different. We know this. And as I stated in the last video before this, the King James Version, Illuminati version, the same Bible that some of you read, understand this. This does not mean it's all fake. It means that some parts are grossly mistranslated, as I'm about to show you. And that's a fact, as you're about to see. And you can either ignore it, or you can accept it and see it for what it really is. If you really want to know the truth, then eyes open. Here we go. Okay, you have to watch the signs. Okay, because even in the scripture itself, they gave you a warning. Jeremiah 8:8. He states, he actually asks all of you, he asks the whole world a question. He says, how can you say that we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when actually the lying pen of the scribes has handled the scripture falsely? He states this, I take this to heart. In my gut, in my instinct, I'm listening. I'm listening, going with the vibe here. And I know that they have manipulated the scripture. So I'm going to go to the root, to the Hebrew, to the Aramaic, to the real form that they failed to mention and give you correctly. I'm going to show you. And what you see is a fascinating new picture that is painted. And you're going to know the truth from here. Now, you got to keep an open mind. If you want to be a person that wants to be stubborn and just be stubborn about it, it's not going to work. In fact, you need to be just the opposite, because Jesus warned of the synagogue of Satan, this pedophile church with this Jesuit pope, okay, that no doubt most of you do not care for, which is good, because Jesus told you that the temple is not that building. The temple is you. It is your body. You are the temple, not the satanic church of Satan, the synagogue, the vicar of Jesus that lie in his name, under his name. They deceived you right from the beginning, before any of you that hear me were ever even thought of or born. This goes back so deep. And they worship when? Every Sunday. It's all right before you. Watch the pieces come together. It is a gift. Jesus warned not to worship a graven image. And how many people do you see with that cross hanging around their neck and they know not any better? Though he warned you. And it goes on. When you look at Hollywood, you see the eye of the Jay-Z's, the Lil Waynes, the Miley Cyruses, all throwing the eye up. And you wonder what it is. It's of this hidden knowledge that they are flaunting in your face. So when you see this, and they're doing this in front of millions, they're basically making fun of these people right in front of their face, and these people are loving it and have no clue. They're saying, we know something that you don't. Well, guess what, folks? Everyone that watches this series and finishes it is going to have some of the same knowledge that these fools possess. Okay? And some of this knowledge is not given until they reach the higher levels of masonry. Now, if you read the Morals and Dogma like I have, got my hands on it and tore through it, you see that they worship Lucifer. It's right there in the text. And you see how they operate. This isn't about fighting, folks. That's what Jesus was right. This is about being respectful and love. And no, you don't just lay down in war and die. You fight, because even he is coming back with a sword. You better not forget that. Now, all throughout the Bible, many times you've seen the metaphors and the parables that have been given. The separation is what I want you to pay attention to here.
All right. I'm going to leave it right there because otherwise I'll just keep listening on and on. Basically, as he goes into it, he's going to start giving you examples of words. I'll give you just one little brief and then I'm going to move on here. But he shows the difference in the Bible. In the book of Genesis, we've got two words, make and create. That when God was making things, he was making, and there was a meaning for the word make, a different word. But then at a certain point in time when we heard about the Elohim, which means multiple beings, suddenly the word went from make to create. So they were no longer making, and they were using a different process. They had to take the rib out of somebody in order to create. They weren't doing the same process. And the word create, as he shows, is a different word than the word make, different meanings. But as we see in society now, we just lump words together and we say, oh, they mean the same thing. But they didn't back then. They didn't to the scholars who wrote the information. So listen to this series. 3 parts, 15 minutes each. You've heard 8 minutes worth. You've got 7 more in this one. You got 30 more to go with the other. Believe me, you're going to find this well worth your time. And I reached out to Dabu77 yesterday and I'm looking to do an interview with him. So perhaps we're going to get that in the very near future. All right? Check this out. Links available at firstcontactradio.com. Moving on. This next piece is, well, this is a feel-good story. Okay? Feel-good story. And I wanted to show this to you because we want to focus on the positive stuff, right? The love that's in the world. This is a story about love and positivity, and I think you're really going to like this story. Check this out.
For years, Tinny Davidson has waved at students as they walk to the nearby high school. And today she learned just how much her simple act has meant to those going by. Kendall Hansen has the story.
If you walk by Tinny Davidson's home, there's a good chance you may see her gregarious smile and enthusiastic wave. It's something students walking to and from Highland Secondary have noticed, and the wave has become part of their daily routine.
I just liked the look of the children. They all looked in, and I thought, well, if they're looking in, I'll wave to them. And that's how it started.
Seems like all the kids always wave at her.
Yeah, at first it was pretty strange, so, you wave back, but then it started to become a thing.
Tinny and her late husband Ken Davidson started waving at the passing kids when they moved to this home in 2007. A couple of years ago, Ken passed away, but Tinny has continued what had become their tradition.
I love it. And they seem to like it also. So, it's been a fun few years.
The students feel likewise, and so this Valentine's Day, the school invites Tinny to an assembly, and she has no idea what she is in for. A rock star welcome.
On behalf of all the hearts that we want to say Valentine's Day.
Student-made Valentines. And a video of thanks for all the waves.
Waves at me every day as I walk to school, and you can always count on her to be that warm smile on a dreary day.
She does it on your way to school, and she does it at lunch, and she does it after school.
She's just one of those people who's like pumping everyone's attitude up.
It makes everyone's day a little bit brighter.
I'm overwhelmed. My phone is just wonderful.
A reminder that seemingly small gestures can make a big impact. On behalf of all the hearts you've warmed, Tinny Davidson, happy Valentine's Day.
Isn't that nice? Say a simple thing like a wave, what it can do. It's about love. We share this love, and look what that did. The love of this one woman and her man reached out, and look how these students responded. And it was nice to really see the students responding that way. Their parents raised them right, to be able to look and respect that. So that's good. Good stuff. Good stuff all around. All right. Now, in the world today, there's lots of people being born, and we hear the stories. We know the stories of the extraterrestrial involvement over the years, and we've heard Dolores Cannon talk about the various waves of souls that have come in. And one of the last waves that she spoke of are these waves of children who are really in touch with the information of the cosmos when they come in. Okay, they're more connected. One of the terms used is indigo children to describe who these children are. So this article addresses that issue. It says, tuning into the needs of indigo children by Michelle Walling. It is fascinating to be alive at this time of transition on planet Earth. One of the best indicators of change within the human consciousness towards a higher level of being is the essence of the indigo children. These children are different from the most children in the way that they act and the way that they deal with life. Indigo children are here to show humanity how to live in unconditional love and to anchor these higher vibrational energies onto the planet. Nancy Ann Tapp, author of the book Understanding Your Life Through Color, studied the auric field labeled indigos for the indigo-colored aura. The aura is the electromagnetic energy field that the human body carries, and an indigo color indicates transits of a master communicators that are highly intelligent and intuitive with a passion for peace and truth. Indigos are balanced in the heart and the head. Doctors tend to say that there is no such thing as indigo children, and many indigo children have been erroneously diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Living with the societal pressures of medical diagnosis is just one of the challenges of the indigo children today. Most indigos children were born in 1978 or later, although some adults carry the indigo traits. Indigos are highly intuitive. They know what feels right to them, and anything else is disruptive to their system. These children have food sensibilities and may be very picky. They have imaginary friends and see spirits, dead people, guides, angels, and or extraterrestrial beings. Indigos are very empathetic. They are sensitive to the feelings of others and sometimes pick them up and carry these energies with them. They are feelers rather than thinkers most of the time. These children have a natural resistance to rigid rules and guidelines and deem them archaic. They are here at this time to bring the energies necessary for a consciousness shift and therefore do not fit into the strict left brain thinking and control. They have an innate knowingness and resist untruth. Some indigos have telepathic abilities and can speak to other spirits in other dimensions. These children carry a vibration of harmony and therefore do not feel comfortable in the denseness of today's world. They have a tendency to be antisocial and prefer to spend time alone or in fantasy play. Indigos do not think in linear fashion, but rather holographically, which is a reflection of higher intelligence. They are plugged in to their higher selves. They are fascinated with and easily bonds with plants, animals, and crystals. An indigo child bores easily and sometimes is fidgety or overexcitable. Recognizing the traits of actions of an indigo child will allow for understanding the ways to help make them more comfortable and happy kids. Allow their perceived eccentricities. Stare deep into their eyes with a knowingness of unconditional love and understanding. Tell them telepathically thank you and that everything is okay. Introduce them to other indigo children or psychically gifted children. If this is not possible, provide a metaphysical and spiritual environment and allow creativity such as painting, music, dancing, or writing. Allow past life recall and dream interpretation conversations to take place as if they were normal conversation. Keep them off Ritalin and other prescribed ADD or ADHD medications and keep them from being vaccinated. These drugs keep them from expressing and doing what they are here to do in the first place. Feed them organic live foods. Make sure they are not exposed to harsh chemicals such as fluoride in the water. Many children are allergic to chemicals and pesticides commonly found in tap water. Guard against harsh people or aggressive children and nurture loving relationships. The indigo child will be the one to show what works and what doesn't. Pay attention to those who can have a special magical time with your child. Encourage this time as much as possible. Turn off the television most of the time as the programming is too fast-paced and harsh. Shows about animals and nature can help them to calm down in high-stress situations. Allow the transmutation of emotions through crying and laughing. Sometimes indigo children will cry at the drop of a hat, seemingly without reason. When the child gets old enough to understand, it is helpful to teach him or her to shield themselves with a bubble of light that will not allow other people's energy into their aura fields, which helps them not to be overly sensitive. Adopt a new way of parenting and schooling. If at all possible, overly sensitive and psychic children should come homeschooled, and often these kids will act out in school as a rebellion against not wanting to be there. If homeschooling is not an option, be active with the parent-teacher relationship and do not conform to the state-imposed classical standards of discipline. Remember, indigo children chose their parents before they came to this incarnation, and an agreement was made to support them at this time, knowing they would bring energies needed to the planet at the time of great denseness and subsequently great transformation. However, just because a child has the characteristic and traits of an indigo child does not mean that they need to be placed upon the pedestal over other children or the parents. It simply means that they have different environmental needs and more metaphysical and spiritual capabilities than most children, although most children will benefit from the indigo child's environment. Okay? So, if you have a child and your child seems to fit into this category, if it seems to make sense, perhaps you might want to consider that and read through and really, maybe this might help you out. Because there are a lot of kids coming in, man. Some of the things that kids do are amazing these days. Amazing. I was at an event a couple weeks ago, this Conscious Life Expo, and I was walking by, and there was a woman pushing a stroller, and it had like 2 seats in the stroller, 2 babies, one facing one way, one the other. And as I walked around, there was this little baby sitting in the front part of the stroller, and this little baby was holding a tablet. And this little baby was pushing the buttons and going through and navigating through this tablet. And I stood there, watched amazed that this little kid was going through and was getting through this tablet when I know adults who can't even send out emails. Yet this little kid was going through and pushing the buttons and knowing where to go and navigating things and sliding things. It was amazing. Kids these days, we need to nurture that spirit. Just like we were nurtured as we were growing up by the people around us, we need to nurture those and encourage and, not allow our humanity or our society to dictate that because kids have some special gifts that they need to have some drugs because they're on some sort of problem. Okay? Anyway, let's move on. This is our message for today. This is Sirius B, Message to Humanity.
Sirius B. Message to Humanity.
February 23, 2014, by Karen Doonan.
Greetings, beloved ones. We are the beings from Sirius B, and we come to communicate and to guide our children in their human form upon and within planet Earth as the energies now begin to heighten and expand in relation to the event which will see the human race release their vibrational chains and move fully into freedom and the light of truth. We call to our children in their human form and ask them to fully release all that has been placed within them at a human conscious waking mind level. Our children are now shown that which is not truth in preparation for the expansion which will now see them embrace their truth at all levels of their being. We place the coding of 333 within the heart space, we place the golden ankh, and we place the seal of Solomon also in the heart space. We place the dove of peace at the crown, and we place the symbol of the wheat sheaf at the base chakra. We place the frequency of gold at the crown, and we place the frequency of turquoise at the throat. We ask our children in their human form to find their voice and to speak truth once more upon and within planet Earth for all, support all, and this will be shown over and over at a human conscious waking mind level. We place before all the light of truth in the form of the coding of 333, and we place before all truth in the coding of 777, and we ask for all to breathe and to be. As the new earth energies now heighten and expand, we guide clearly that that which is illuminated is in order for all to dissolve the chains. For you cannot dissolve something that is not seen at a human conscious waking mind level. That which has been kept from the human race will now be shown to the human race, for the vision of the human race now expands and clears fully. Truth just is, and you are. We are the beings from Sirius B, and we are here with you as you now walk in the light of truth and dissolve the chains that you have been taught to place around your human life experience on the planet Earth.
Okay, another video, another message confirming change we're going through, positive change. Truthfulness is going to come out, and boy, is going to be quite a bit, because we all know how much darkness there is right now. We know how much lies and corruptions. That's I'm trying not to focus so much on all of the different stories out there, because there's so many. We don't want to focus on that. We know it's there. We know the darkness is there. There's no need to accentuate that. We want to accentuate the light. We want to shine the light into the darkness, to dissipate the darkness. That's our job, to dissipate the darkness, not to accentuate it. Okay? Let the darkness eat itself. Let the beast destroy itself. We don't have to participate. We just keep sending out love. All right? So let's go to our meditation for today. Here we go. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Contemplate these words of this affirmation. All the good of God is always mine to receive. Joyfully I discover, uncover, and reveal my true spiritual gifts. Today I extend my field of gratitude and expand my awareness of God. Opinion-free living in divine right, seeing are mine today. I am healed and whole in every area of my life. Gracefully I live these words of truth, and so it is. Amen. Just allow those words to absorb into your unconscious. And further yet, contemplate these words. Every breath I inhale calms me, and every breath I exhale takes away my tension. Every breath I inhale calms me, and every breath I exhale takes away my tension. And with that, inhale a breath, feel the calming energy, and exhale, and just imagine the tension going away with it. Now let's imagine that we're just sitting in a meditative pose, meditative place, nice, calm, relaxed. The tension is drifting out, and we're activating all of our chakras from the bottom of the spine up. Red at the bottom of the spine, and it draws the energy from the earth. And the energy moves up to the second chakra right at the belly button, and there the color is orange. And from there the energy moves up higher just below the rib cage, and there you have the color yellow. And from there the energy continues moving up to the heart space, where you have green, the heart chakra. And from the heart chakra, you move up to the throat, and there the color becomes blue. And from the blue throat chakra, the energy moves up higher, right between the two eyes, to indigo. And from there, the third eye, we move the energy to the crown chakra, the top of the head, and there the color becomes a violet. And the light continues on up into the cosmos as bright white light. I want you to imagine all of this energy flowing through your body. And I want you to imagine deeper, deeper, deeper at the cellular level, the DNA level of your being. I want you to imagine that you're able to go into those DNA strands of yours. And as you see that DNA strands and you find and you look at them, you see that there is something that was placed there amongst the DNA to limit us. And we know from the stories that the way in which we move that the Spirit of God will remove this block, that the example that Jesus gave. So we imagine Jesus, and we imagine Jesus is like a key that we swallow, and as we swallow this key, it goes down, and imagine this key going through each and every one of your DNA and unlocking and removing this block, removing the millstone that was in that DNA that was holding you back. And imagine it being removed, and just feel this rain cleansing you. And as it does, imagine seeing all of this dark energy, all of this residual energy that has been released from your DNA. Just see it washed away. And feel that light of Jesus expanding in your body, expanding outward, shining bright through all of your DNA, through all of your molecules, shining so bright that your entire body becomes illuminated. And in this illumination, purified. And from your heart chakra now, just send out love all around the planet. Love. Everywhere around the planet. To each and every individual. Unconditional love with nothing attached to it. Just to send out love. And as this love goes out, you see it changes people. It changes people because people are generally good, and it goes in and it reaches to the goodness within them. To the godness within them. And as you go in and you reach that goodness with love, people extend more love into the world. Till pretty soon those who are causing problems and those who are filled with darkness can't help but to let go of the darkness because they are simply overwhelmed by so much love. And let's just imagine a planet overwhelmed with love so much that all it can do is shine bright. And as this love shines bright from the planet, imagine our space brothers and sisters, our family, who is out there looking down all around us. Imagine them smiling, knowing that we are doing the positive work we need to do to change the planet. So as we go throughout the day, just let our subconscious mind keep sending out love. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Feel the calming as you take that deep breath in. And exhale. One more deep breath. Inhale. Hold that breath. Exhale again. And slowly open your eyes. Awake, happy, healthy, and whole, my friends. That's it. That's our show for today. Thank you very much. A lot of great information that's out there. We only touched on a portion of some of these videos, so go back and watch them. You got the Ancient Aliens video talking about the mountains. You've got Dabu77's videos on the origins of man. Check out the rest of those. And anything else that we didn't get to fully go over. FirstContactRadio.com is the link. I'll be back tomorrow. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Talk to you later, man. I'm out of here.